If you want to make more sales with email, stop thanking your new subscribers. Instead, follow the simple welcome sequence that made me over $30,000 last year on autopilot. But if your emails aren't getting you sales while you sleep, it's likely because you're following outdated advice, like sending thanks for signing up emails. So in this video, I'm going to show you the only 7 emails you need in your welcome sequence. I'm going to show you what to write, when to send each one, and how to set it up so that once you have these emails published, you get sales every day, even if you have a tiny email list. To start, let me show you why most welcome emails fail the moment they're sent. Because your first email is your chance to position yourself, establish credibility, build rapport, and improve deliverability. But none of this is happening with the email I'm showing you. Now, take a look at what I send. Notice what this email does differently? If not, let me break it down. I instantly create an enemy, I deliver the lead magnet, and then I tell the readers what to expect in the next emails. I'll show them what they'll learn, right? The benefits, and I'll use fascination bullets to make those benefits seem snazzy. And I explain why these emails are going to be different than anything else in my reader's inbox. So now, let me show you how to build the whole welcome sequence. You want to have at least 7 emails that you send once a day, about 24 hours apart from each other. But most people worry about being annoying and pushy. I'm going to show you why that's complete BS, because you want to think of email marketing as dating. You wouldn't meet somebody and say, hey, it's nice to meet you, then disappear for 2 weeks and expect them to remember you, right? So think of these 7 emails like back-to-back dates. Each email is designed to build more trust and deepen the relationship. So if you skip an email in this sequence, then you're going to be the person who texts, hey, once a month and wonders why you get ghosted, right? So follow this simple schedule. The first email goes immediately after the person signs up. The next email goes out 6 hours later as a follow-up email. The third email goes out 24 hours later, and so on until the sequence ends, right? So the first email you send is the most important email you're ever going to send to your subscriber, and most people, like I showed you, waste it by saying, hey, thanks for joining. And that's why you need to use email number 1, my welcome email. You see, your welcome email is like a movie trailer. If you're sitting there watching a commercial for a movie and the trailer sucks, you're not going to buy a ticket, right? So steal this welcome email framework to stand out in the inbox. Subject line: open this to get your lead magnet name with the emoji. Normally I hate emojis, but you really want to stand out, and this one is going to get you really high open rates. Next, you want to immediately create an enemy. Tell them what you don't like or what's wrong with your industry. Provide the lead magnet link and put it on top, because this will improve your click rates, and higher click rates means more people will see your emails. Then tell them what to expect over the next 7 days. Next, establish credibility by telling them what you've done. You can do that in a single sentence. Explain why your emails are different from the rest of the people in the inbox, right? What kind of value are you providing? Why are you different? You need to position yourself in that first email. Provide a lead magnet link again, and then this is the most important step. At the end, ask them to reply with their number 1 problem, roadblock, or obstacle, and that's going to create a content flywheel for you. Essentially, every problem that you get from somebody replying is going to be a great content idea. So you can turn that into more emails, more email content that you know is a proven idea. But by getting the reader to reply, you're actually getting yourself taken out of their promotions tab. So just write 1 sentence for each of the bullets I provided you, and this will make every other email in your reader's inbox look boring. But unfortunately, most folks stop there and they wonder why, hey, why are my open rates plummeting? Why isn't anyone buying? And that's why you need to send this next email 6 hours after the first email. Email number 2, the follow-up email. I learned this strategy from my mentor, Ian Stanley. The reason I send the follow-up email is because it boosts deliverability. Again, getting you out of the promo tab and into the inbox. The strategy behind the follow-up email 6 hours later is just to get the subscriber to reply. So in the first and second emails, having them reply just ensures you're going to get out of that evil promo tab, right? It's very important. So the trick is to send an email asking the reader if they received the email, like this. Subject line: did you get the lead magnet name? So obviously fill in the name of your lead magnet. Explain how worried you are that the reader didn't get the lead magnet. Explain how Google usually puts emails in the spam folder. And then add some kind of creativity, like, I'm worried sick and I don't want to look bad. Provide the link to the lead magnet, and then ask the reader to reply to make sure they got it and sign off. So by now, you've done everything that you can to establish the relationship and improve deliverability. But at this point, you're still a stranger to the reader. And most people don't buy from strangers they meet on the internet, right? So this next email fixes that. And that's email 3, your origin story. Storytelling is the most powerful skill known to man. And if you could tell a story well, it creates a phenomenon known as narrative transport. And narrative transport is when the reader pictures themselves in your story. And that's how you build trust instantly. What else? People buy from people they trust over and over. So use this simple origin story framework to evoke the narrative transport in your reader. And it starts with this. Start with who you used to be, the bad version of yourself, the problem that you were facing, and then how you tried to solve that problem but failed. And then show the steps that you took to solve the problem from there. Show the solution that you found, and show how the reader can use that solution by using the link to your product or your offer, and then sign off. This one email is going to do more for you than the other 6 emails combined. When someone knows your story, they stop seeing you as another email marketer. They just start seeing people they know and trust. But your readers liking you isn't enough to get the sale, right? You need to give them proof that you can solve their biggest problem and solve it fast. And that's why you need email number 4, the big result in a small amount of time. If your reader has made it to email 4 and still hasn't bought, it's because they're unconvinced, right? So this email fixes that by leveraging a writing trick known as juxtaposition. Juxtaposition is the placement of 2 contrasting ideas side by side, and what you're doing is highlighting the differences, which creates irony or a more dramatic effect. It really is like the best way to pull someone's attention in. Think of juxtaposition like holding a flashlight in a dark room. The darker the room is, the brighter the light looks. So when you're putting something big next to something that's small, the big thing seems even bigger. So when I use this idea for the subject line, how to get a big result in small amount of time, juxtaposition hooks the reader and makes them want that result more. So use this framework. Open up with a hook that you think X is right. Wrong? This is going to use contrast and juxtaposition again. Right and wrong. Use a short case study for yourself or client. Introduce the problem that you or your client had, but then show doubt. You didn't think you could solve that problem, but you went the extra mile and discovered a unique solution. Then show that unexpected result. Connect it back to your reader situation. Reveal how that method, that framework or solution that you found actually in your product where you provide the link, right? Then sign off. Now at this point, if your reader hasn't purchased, they're usually thinking one thing. Okay, this worked for you and for your client, but how do I know this is going to work for me? Well, this next email slaps that objection in the face. Number 5, the quick win. When you give your reader one small win for free, they'll get excited about buying your product, right? They'll think, wow, this free stuff is so good. I wonder what his paid stuff is like. So you want to think of this email as like a sample at a grocery store. Nobody, including myself, walks into Costco planning to buy a $40 box of frozen steaks, right? But when you eat a free sample of that like little sizzling piece of steak on a toothpick, next thing you know, I'm buying a $40 box of steaks. And the samples are what create the sales, right? So that's what you're going to do in this email framework. Start by calling back the yesterday's email. Say, hey, yesterday I showed you how to get a big result in a small amount of time. And then give them one template, script, or swipe that somebody can easily take and use and get results with. And for this email, I used an email template to wake up a dead list. Show them step by step on how to get the result. Include a video if you have to. Over deliver on value and make it dead simple for them to copy, right? Just copy and paste this and get results. Whatever you can do to make it as easy as possible for them. Then tell them there's a lot more tactics in the link to your product or your offer, right? And then sign off. But sometimes the biggest thing you're missing in this entire sequence is proof. Enter email 6, the testimonial avalanche. And here's a fun fact that most business owners ignore. The persuasion tactic that works on websites works just as well on emails, but most people save their testimonials for the checkout page, and that's a bad move. Because when you buy something on Amazon, you're not going to read the product description and think, oh, I'm sold. You're going to go to the review section and see whether people tell you if the product is worth buying or not. So we're going to use the same trick in the testimonial avalanche email. Here's how to use it. Subject line. People are crushing it with offer name. Open with urgency and say the offer expires soon. One sentence pitch about the product. What does it do? Who is it for? And then you're going to use a bridge. It's almost impossible not to get the big result that this offer gives you when you use this product. So take a look. at what people are saying. And then what you can do is just stack images of people with testimonials, or I just use quotes, and that becomes the avalanche. Hey, John got this result. Bob got this result. Steve got this result. And each testimonial should follow this similar format of just, hey, I got a specific result in time frame and name and title. So then you want to close the avalanche with just, hey, this is just the tip of the iceberg as far as results go. Best way to get more email sales. But the best way to get more sales is with urgency. And the best way to use urgency without sounding like a car salesman is to apologize. Enter email 7, the apology email. Most sales happen in the final hours before a deadline, and this catches every person that's sitting on the fence who just needs a little nudge to buy, right? But this email does something counterintuitive. Instead of pushing harder to get someone off the fence, pull them back by apologizing, right? So the subject line does all the heavy lifting for you. Apologies. It creates curiosity, it kills sales resistance, people don't expect to be sold to, and it gets the highest open rate out of any email in this sequence because it feels like a text from a friend. So snag this dead simple framework. Subject line, apologies. Open with empathy and don't pressure people into buy. Explain why you're emailing them again. You don't want them to miss out. The deadline has a specific time and it's gone at like midnight or something like that. Just put a link for the call to action and a short sign off. That's all you need. It's very short but super effective. And don't forget to add a PS. Invite them to reply at the end. Not only will this help boost deliverability, but you'll find objections on why people don't buy, and you can use that for your emails in the future. So there you have it, the simplest welcome sequence that you can use to get more sales while you sleep. You're welcome. Set these up once and you'll sell them over and over. But here's the problem. The sequence only works if you have subscribers flowing into it, right? A welcome sequence with nobody in it is just 7 emails in an empty room. So I made this next video breaking down the exact 11 strategies I use to get 8,400 subscribers fast. Make sure to watch it next.